Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about the basic tools and applications of nanotechnology. So before going to basic tools and application, we can discuss few points related to nanoparticles. Nanoparticle, as we know, is any material having at least one of its dimensions in the range of 1 to 100 nanometer. And the word nano derived from Greek word nanos, that means very small. Hence, a nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter, 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Therefore, nanometer objects are too small to be seen with our eyes, we can say. And about nanotechnology or nanoscience, this is a very interesting area where we are studying about materials that have very small dimensions, and it involves in science subjects like chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics, etc. Here we are going to study about the uh, basic tools and applications of nanotechnology, where what are the important tools used to analyze nanomaterials. So the related to that, uh, the basic tool, electron microscopes are we used to analyze nanomaterials, where electron microscopes are scientific instruments that use a beam of highly energetic electrons to examine objects on a very fine scale. We know electron microscope is a type of microscope. Uh, the difference between other type of microscope is it uses beam of electrons to create an image of the specimen. So it is capable of much higher magnifications and have a greater resolving power also than light microscopes and that type of microscopes. So we can see very small objects in finer details, we can say. So this examination usually can yield information about the topography, morphology, composition and crystallographic informations. Mainly two types of electron microscopes are there. We can go to that, a transmission electron microscope and a scanning electron microscope. So all electron microscope use electromagnetic or electrostatic lenses to control the path of electrons. And these two electron microscopes, transmission electron microscope and a scanning electron microscopes, both are used to analyze structure of nanomaterials. About a transmission electron microscope, we are using this transmission electron microscope to study the inner structure of a nanomaterial, whereas scanning electron microscope used to visualize the surface of objects. We can go to transmission electron microscope. This is just a representation. Here we can see how we can analyze the structure of nanomaterial using transmission electron microscope. So transmission electron microscope normally uses a high voltage electron beam to create an image. So the electrons are emitted. We need a source for this electron. So electrons are normally emitted by an electron gun. So that is the source, commonly fitted with a tungsten filament cathode as the electron source. So first you have to write, or you have to understand, we must have an electron source there. So the electrons are emitted by an electron gun, commonly fitted with a tungsten filament cathode as the electron source. So that's the electron source. Using that electron source, we can see the structure of nanoparticle. So the next thing we have to remember here is electron beam is accelerated by an anode. In this picture, we can see there is a cathode and an anode. Cathode is the source of electron and anode can accelerate the electron, focused by electrostatic and electromagnetic lenses. Also, electrostatic electromagnetic lenses are placed, and those electrostatic electromagnetic lenses focus the electron beam. and transmitted through specimen that is in part transparent to electrons. When it emerges from the specimen, the electron beam carries information about the structure of the specimen that is magnified by the objective lens system of the microscope. So in that way it works. So when it emerges from the specimen, and the electron beam carries almost all information about the structure of the specimen that is magnified by the objective lens system of the microscope. So the spatial variation in the form is recorded by hitting a fluorescent screen, photographic plate or light sensitive sensor, and the image detected by CCD, that is charge coupled device, may be displayed in real time on a monitor or computer. So transmission electron microscopes we can see as black and white images. We can check the images of SEM and TEM in the next video. So about TEM, you have to understand these points. The about the electron source, the original form of electron microscope is transmission electron microscope, and that uses a high voltage electron beam to create an image. So we need high voltage electron beam. So the electron source is the main thing there. Cathode as the electron, tungsten filament cathode as the electron source, and the electron beam is accelerated by anode focused by electrostatic and electromagnetic lenses. And when it emerges from the specimen, electron beam carries information about the structure, and we can record that structure. That's all about TEM.